Hey guys, Ernie here, and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. I've tried many times to find a replacement for my Trangia spirit burner. It has always been my favorite alcohol stove, and it's become kind of an obsession to see if I can find anything that I like more. So you guys know what today's question is. Did I finally find it? Over the years, we've tried out many what I would call clones of the Trangia. They're basically the exact same thing. They might change the size of the holes, but they're basically the exact same carcass, the same screw top, the essentially same simmer ring. And after all those videos, we've come out with the same conclusion: the Trangia is still better. Now this stove is a little different because it looks just like the Trangia, but it's not like the Trangia. This is the Steampunk siphon alcohol stove from the company Goshawk. They're out of Australia. Dimensions are very common because they are basically Trangia dimensions, 1.7 by 2.9. The weight is 2.4 ounces, which is a little bit less weight than your typical Trangia. It is made out of brass and copper. The copper's on the inside. Claims an 18-second bloom time. To be honest with you, I found it to be a little bit less than that, but we'll see how it does today on our testing. Has a maximum capacity of 3 ounces, although they only recommend using a maximum of 2 ounces. It claims to boil 500 milliliters of water on 1 ounce of fuel in about 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and it burns that 1 ounce of fuel for 10 minutes, 15 seconds. On my testing so far, that 4 minutes, 10 seconds is a little bit fast. They probably had a little bit warmer water than what we'll start with today. Nonetheless, we're going to basically treat it like any other stove here on the channel. The price is $34 plus shipping from Australia. I don't remember what that cost me. I want to say it was like $6 or $7. It wasn't terrible. It does look like the Trangia from the outside. Has a very typical simmer ring. It's got this nice little handle so you can easily just control the simmer wherever you are. You can unscrew the top. Inside you'll have a typical O-ring, again, just like the Trangia. Looks exactly like it, but the inside is where things start to be very, very different. There are no burner holes on the top or the outside, like you can see. There's also only one wall here. There's no double wall, so that's probably why it's a little bit lighter. There's no insulation. It doesn't need to be any. You can see, I'll zoom y'all in here. You can see. In fact, let me see if I can crank the light up a little bit. You can see on the inside there. Trying to show you guys. These holes on top of these little copper pipes are angled, so it creates a spiral effect in the flame. The company says they do that in-house and make sure that they are oriented in the correct fashion. It does come with a stand. Let me show you guys that stand. This is probably why it's called the Steampunk, I guess. It's an interesting stand. You can see these little divots right here. That's what actually sets on the stove itself, just like that, and your pot sits right on top of these. I'm going to show you guys the flame pattern and how long it takes to prime at night, and then we're going to put it up against the Trangia and see how it does. So for all intents and purposes, it looks like a Trangia until you turn it on. Takes a few seconds to prime up. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? There it is, primed up. Takes about 20 seconds or so to prime up. It is cold outside. That will affect things. It's about probably 50 degrees out here. So you will see a difference. And until it really, really starts to go, it is affected by the wind. It just takes a little bit of time for it to really hit full steam. I'd say right there it's pretty much full steam. Like all of these siphon stoves, one of the jets misses every once in a while. It's just pretty normal. You see that with the Toke siphon or the Lixada siphon stove. But that is the flame pattern of the Goshawk Steampunk. Okay, here we go. We've got our Steampunk and our little pot stand. I'm going to put in an ounce of fuel. Now what I'm going to do is I want you guys to be able to see when it blooms. So we're not going to put the pot on top of it till it blooms. You could put it right on top right away because of course it's going to start producing heat. But we're going to go ahead and just light it, let it bloom, and then we'll put the top on. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and start it. Let me turn the lights down for you guys. There we go. Starting to bloom right there. You can see there it is. So we're going to put this right on top. So it took about 10 seconds to bloom. Not too bad. You can still see the flame pattern pretty good right there. Let's see how long it takes to get these 2 cups of water to a boil. Alright, so 7 minutes 3 seconds for a boil. Not too bad. 7 minutes 3 seconds. We're going to leave this going right here. See how long that ounce of fuel will burn for. 7 minutes 3 seconds. Well, it seems to be slowing down. They quoted 10 minutes 15 seconds, so they're pretty on the money for 1 ounce of fuel. Still making a flame here. Alright, very minimal flame. We're going to go ahead and call it 10 minutes 45 seconds. So 10 minutes 45 seconds total burn time. Now we're going to get our trusty Trangia out. Put 1 ounce of fuel in it. We're going to use the same pot stand so that we have some comparison and see how long it takes to boil those 2 cups of water. Okay, here is our ounce of fuel. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to light it up. We're going to start the timer, and once it blooms, we'll put the pot on. Won't take long. Trangia is pretty good at blooming. Turn the lights down. There it goes again. About the same amount of time as the other. Very nice little flame pattern. Alright, so let's see how long it takes to boil the 2 cups of water and how long it burns for. Okay. 7:33. 7:33 for a boil. Let's see how long she burns for. 7:33. Alright, starting to lose some steam here. Still making a good ring of flame, so we're going to do the same as we did for the Goshawk. Alright, we're going to call it right there. The outer rim is out. 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So to review for you guys, the Goshawk boiled water in 7 minutes, 3 seconds and burned for 10 minutes, 45 seconds. The Trangia boiled in 7 minutes, 33 seconds and burned for 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Pretty similar results. Very impressive from the new kid on the block. Alright, so let's get down to it. Pros and cons of the Steampunk. If you look at the flame pattern itself, it concentrates the heat directly on the bottom of the pot. Sometimes with stoves like the Trangia that have an outer ring, you can get some of the flames to go around, especially smaller sized pots. This particular product does not do that because it shoots right from the middle and it really concentrates the flames on the bottom of smaller pots. It fits any accessory designed to use with the Trangia. You can store fuel inside of it just like a Trangia. It's very fuel efficient, more fuel efficient I think than the Trangia. It weighs less than the Trangia Spirit Burner. It's fast to prime, has a simmer ring included, and it comes with its own pot stand. Now let's discuss the cons. Well, we'll start with that pot stand, which realistically for me is not the best thing in the world. Although it is effective, it is sharp all over the place. It's got sharp bits everywhere. Putting it inside of a storage bag is a big problem. Leaving it outside of a storage bag is a big problem because it's so sharp that it can easily tear fabric. It can tear through almost anything. If it's up against the side of your bag and pressure gets on it, I think you're probably going to cut your bag. Bottom line on the pot stand is it works, but I would not carry it anywhere but inside of a metal pot. Also, it's advertised to be able to be used with the simmer ring inside of the pot stand. I might be missing something, but I can't get it to work. You can move it just a little bit, but you certainly can't adjust it fully with the ways that the legs come down on the pot stand, so something to think about. That said, of all the stoves I've tested, I think this one is the closest to being a replacement for my Trangia. Looking at the flame patterns, it looks to me like the Goshawk burns a little cleaner and a little bit hotter. That may be because it's not going through any insulation on the sides of the Trangia, but nonetheless, the flame is blue, 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 and that's much better than my Trangia normally is. In the end, I simply need more time with this stove to decide whether it will really replace my Trangia. Look, I've been using the Trangia tons for almost 10 years, so I have a lot of experience with it, and it is still going to take a lot to replace it. That said, I really like this stove, and it's going to be coming with me on many adventures because I want to give it a chance and see if it really has the opportunity to replace that Trangia. Let me know what you guys think. I found this to be a very, very interesting stove. I think it's downright cool. It has worked well so far, and I'm interested and excited in using it on into the future. Not sure if you guys are aware, but I have an entire playlist on stoves. You can find a lot of those other stoves that didn't quite make the mark in meeting up to my Trangia standards. Make sure you check down below in the description and up in the cards. You can find that playlist. Do me a favor, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below. Really, really helps spread things across YouTube. if you're not subscribed, and I know a lot of you are not, so stop right now, hit that subscription button, make sure you don't miss any other videos about stoves and all other things outdoors. If you want to be sure you don't miss any videos, hit that notification bell and you'll be the first to know when I release new videos. Storm is rolling in here in Arkansas. It's absolutely beautiful. Thankfully, I have this very nice covered area to shoot some videos. It's probably going to get pretty loud soon because the rain is coming. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.